Thank you for your bravery to speak. For only your second speech in English, holy moly, that's great. Next, we'll hear from Hwang In-cheol, who is a South Korean national. He'll discuss his 15-year effort to have his father released from North Korea. His father was an MBC producer who was abducted to North Korea when a North Korean agent hijacked a Korean airplane in 1969. Hwang In-cheol is a representative of Korean Airlines Abductees Repatriation Committee and TNKR's Fellow in Human Dignity. Let's welcome Hwang In-cheol.
Good afternoon. It is true pleasure to meet you all today. I am waiting for this time so long time. So I would like to thank TNKR and SUFS. My name is Hwang In-cheol, and I'm here to share the story of my father, who was kidnapped by the North Korean government. Many of you have recently heard about the tragic story of Hwang Won, the 22-year-old American student who was on a tour to North Korea and arrested for allegedly stealing a propaganda poster. After 17 months of imprisonment, through the protest of the US, he was returned home. This young man was flown back to the US in a coma, apparently from the inhumane treatment he received in North Korea, and sadly died just 6 days later upon returning home. Hwang Won's story has brought attention to the horror of enforced imprisonment in North Korea of American, South Koreans, and the cities of other countries. This young man's death will not be in vain. I hope his case will show the world that all those who remain forcibly detained by North Korea should be released immediately. In North Korea, countless people remain forcibly detained against their will. My father is one of those victims. His name is Hwang Won, and he was a 32-year-old TV producer in South Korea. When the North Korean government kidnapped him, I was just 2 years old at the time. On December 11, 1969, my father went on a domestic business trip on a Korean airline flight, just 10 minutes after takeoff. His plane was hijacked by North Korean agent Jo Chang-hee and forcibly taken to North Korea. The plane had 50 people for crew members and 46 passengers. On February 4, 1970, North Korea promised to return all 50 people in response to international outcry. However, on February 14, 1970, the government broke its promise and returned only 39 passengers. To this day, my father and the other 10 people are held against their will in North Korea. It has been 48 years, but the North Korean government refuses to even confirm whether our abducted family members are still alive or not. In 2001, I watched the third separated family reunion event on TV. There, I saw Song Kyung-hee, one of the flight attendants, joyfully reuniting with her mother. That scene moved me to tears. I thought of the word, Father, and something exploded in my heart. My lifelong desire to see my father again came back to me in full force. I looked at my little girl, who was then 2 years old. She was smiling in my arms. Seeing my daughter's face, I felt the pain of a parent forever separated from his son, never allowed to see them grow. I felt the worst pain of a son, waiting for his father, and the pain of a father's possibly taken away from his son. Immediately, I began searching for ways to get my father back. I did everything in my powers. I was 34 years old then. Now I am 50. 16 years have passed. These past 16 years have not been easy. At first, I thought to bring my father back would be simple. He was a victim of a hijacking of a civilian aircraft, a serious crime. So I thought that with a little effort, people will stand behind me. Instead, everyone has forgotten about this issue. I knew I had to do everything in my powers to keep the story alive. In 2006, the South Korea Red Cross delivered a reply from the North Korean government. Their reply was that they were unable to confirm whether my father was still alive or not. I reached out to everyone, including the people in the South Korean government. I appealed to the member of the National Assembly for help. I went on a nationwide tour to raise awareness about the Korean Airlines hijackings. I called for 1 million signatures urging people to raise their voices and demand North Korea to confirm the fate of my father and return him to South Korea. Years went by without any progress. And I wondered if I should just give up. Should I let this go, just like the other South Koreans who have moved on? I could not. We live in a democracy and have the freedom to protest and urging our government into taking just actions. On the other hand, my father, along with all of the others, possibly detained by the North Korean regime, have no voice and can only rely on us to regain their freedom. I knew if I gave up, no one will try to bring attention to the 1969 hijacking and its first South Korean prisoner, and it will be forgotten. In the end, despite the hardship, I could not give up. With the help of Mr. Lee Young-hwan of the Transitional Justice Working Group, I sought the help of the United Nations. My father became the first victims of North Korean abduction, whose case was submitted to the UN. On June 17, 2010, I submitted my father's case to the UN Working Group on enforced or involuntary disappearances. However, North Korea continues to make the outrageous claim that my father's case is not a case of enforced disappearance. This is not the first time North Korea behaved like this. In 1970, the International Committee of Red Cross, ICRC, proposed that they verify through a third country and a third party whether those 11 who were still detained were truly staying in North Korea of their own free will. North Korea rejected this proposal outright. North Korea has also completely ignored the resolution adopted by the UN Security Council and the UN General Assembly as the rules of international law. My father's case is very much a present-day case, and under the rule of international law, he should be returned immediately. I refused to give up. I knew there were peoples out there willing to listen to the call of justice, and that a day would come when they will hear my voice and choose to stand with me. And after fighting along for 50 years, in March 2016, I met TNKR. They helped me create Team Hwang, a group of volunteers committed to help me raise awareness about the Korean Airlines plane hijacking and my father's kidnapping. And they have stood with me for the past year and a half. Thanks to their help, this issue has recently gained international recognition. On May 30, the UN Human Rights Chief announced his annual report in Geneva in front of the representatives of UN member states and NGOs, as the report highlighted the 1969 hijacking incident. It brought attention to the kidnapping of my father and the other 10 peoples, and our struggle to bring my father home. After all these years of fighting against the silence, I witnessed some miracles. Finally, the international community recognized that this case remains a serious matter of injustice that needs to be resolved. I did not do this alone. This was possible only because we stood together. I am one man, and through this struggle, I realized that I alone cannot keep this story alive. Please stand with me, us, and help bring about justice. Help us raise international awareness and send a strong message to the North Korea that they must return my father. This case has been buried and forgotten for too long. Let us resolve it and create a successful case of holding North Korea accountable for its actions. Please bring hope to all those people who remain unjustly and illegally detained. With your support, I feel confident that we can do the impossible and bring about a miracle. Resolving this grave injustice does not depend on the voluntary cooperation of North Korea. Rather, the key is for us, the international community, to speak up, to demand the enforcement of international law, international customary law, and humanitarian principles. Your support and your voices are just. They can bring about a miracle. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Hwang In-cheol, very much for sharing. And I encourage you all to go to the website bringmyfatherhome.org to learn more about Mr. Hwang's case. And also there are some folks here that are part of Team Hwang who are part of the Bring My Father Home campaign. I think Peter Daly, did I see you somewhere? I did not, I was imagining you, but I do see the manager of the campaign.